She is a true American original, trend-setting, mind-bending Madonna, an icon for the past 3 decades, if sometimes a controversial one. She is tiny in person, but her accomplishments are huge. She is quite simply the top-selling female recording artist of all time. You might think that would be quite enough. You'd be wrong. She's busier than ever. On February 3rd, a film she co-wrote and directed called W.E. opens. 2 days later, she performs at the Super Bowl.
The last time we saw the reigning queen of pop, she was on her 8th tour, aptly named Sticky and Sweet, doing it all from jumping rope to her signature Vogue. She's come a long way since Like a Virgin. Now, the best-selling female rock artist of the 20th century is about to go on tour again and has just signed a new music deal reportedly worth $40 million.
Are you buying lunch? That's what it says, $40 million.
Nobody's handed me $40 million. I don't know about that. Looks good on paper.
It sure does. But that's not all she's up to.
And walk.
Madonna is also directing her first feature film.
Perfect.
Good.
Check the gate.
Directing seems to come naturally. She even directs us.
Now you need to open this back. You want to light us?
I like that. Your director thing kicks in.
Here, move.
What are you doing?
Now we're both in the light.
The film, which she also co-wrote but doesn't appear in, is called W.E.
Happy birthday, Wee. Sweet.
Wallace and Edward.
It explores the controversial love story of King Edward VIII and the twice-divorced Wallis Simpson, a union that would rock the British Empire.
Your family will never stand for it. The Prime Minister won't stand for it.
Then I'll give up the throne.
And I will be the most despised woman in the world.
Indeed, she was. Edward gave up the throne for the woman he loved in 1936.
Have you ever been loved like that?
I've certainly fallen in love with people who were willing to make big sacrifices for me, possibly not as big as I would have liked them to make. And I've made very big sacrifices for people that I've loved. And the great discovery that I made whilst doing this research is that there is no such thing as perfect love. And I obviously know that in the back of my head. I'm not an idiot. But, you know, I have my hopelessly romantic, strangely naive moments.
You're a romantic.
I am. Sorry.
Still, after all these years.
Why not? Yes, I am.
Madonna's love life has certainly had its own ups and downs. It's been 3 years since her highly publicized divorce from British film director Guy Ritchie. Her new love? 24-year-old dancer Brahim Zabat.
You're famously dating younger men. Lots of talk about that.
Is there lots of talk? Aren't people tired of that subject?
No.
Ah, boring old chestnut. Okay, what do you want to know?
Why?
You know, I didn't write down on a piece of paper, I'm now going to have a relationship with a younger man. It's just what happened. You see, that's the romantic in me. I just met someone that I cared for, and this happens to be his age.
And what's appealing about him?
I don't feel comfortable with this conversation, but, you know, I don't want to live my life on my own. I love being a mother. My children fill me up in many ways and inspire me in many ways, but I need a partner in life. I've never really lived a conventional life, so I think it's quite foolish for me or anyone else to start thinking that I'm going to start making conventional choices.
So how are things going with her new beau?
I'm the easy one.
I believe you, millions won't. Are you the easy one?
No, I don't know. I mean, I go home and I wash my face and I put on my sweatpants and I lay down on the bed and I say, oh, please rub my feet. And, you know, and he says, no, you rub my feet. So, you know, behind the curtain, I'm just like everybody else.
Good.
But she's also a master of controversy. The film dives right in, with sparks flying around whether the Duke and Duchess of Windsor were, as has been widely reported, Nazi sympathizers.
Because you could have sidestepped the issue. I'm interested that you didn't. You didn't need to deal with that.
I didn't, but I wanted to, because I think it was something that was a real shadow that they had to live under. That's a huge libelous accusation.
But what about those pictures proving the couple did meet with Hitler in 1937?
I do not believe they were Nazi sympathizers. He did have a meeting with Hitler, but so did a lot of heads of states, and that didn't make them a Nazi sympathizer. But I think people started to spin this tale and this yarn, and it was easy for a lot of people to put that label on them.
Despite what our FBI may say in retrospect.
Well, first of all, the FBI is notorious for lying. And second of all, there is actually no empirical evidence that can prove that they were Nazis or Nazi sympathizers. And you won't be able to give me any evidence. I promise you.
Do you end up liking Wallis Simpson?
I love her. Yeah, I do. I see her as a human being. I see her.
Do you identify with her in some ways?
Of course I do. I identify with her ability to survive against all odds. I think she was deeply misunderstood by people, and I think, you know, obviously I can relate to that.
She can also relate to the fame and the infamy. This is her movie. This is her life.
The cameras are so intrusive, and the paparazzi, all of it is so breathtaking in a kind of way. Is that how it feels?
Energy sucking.
Yeah. Is that how it feels to be on the other side of those cameras?
Sure. I mean, there's a certain aspect to the cameras that feel like a weapon is being pointed at you and shooting at you. Is it exhausting sometimes? Yeah. Do I get to the end of a red carpet and feel dizzy and like I need to lay down and drink an Alka-Seltzer? Sometimes I do, yeah. Sometimes it really does take your breath away, but, you know, I'm not really in a position to complain. It's a high-class problem.
She's got plenty of those, like what's she going to do at the Super Bowl at halftime?